Geno King Boxing back in the building, back with some more boxing news. Man, and everybody's talking about Terrence Crawford's physique, how ripped up he is, how jacked up he is. 6 days away from the biggest fight of his career, Terrence Crawford versus Saul Canelo Alvarez. Yeah, it's going down September 13th, man. But I told everybody, though, as far as Bud Crawford's physique, Crawford has had a whole year to put on weight, to train with the weight, to get used to the weight, walking around, sparring, fighting in the gym with the weight. He's had a whole year. So I don't think weight difference is going to play a huge factor in this fight. Maybe slightly, but not like everybody is trying to say. Bud Crawford's been heavy for a whole year, so he's used to this, and this is what he needed to do to perform at the best of his abilities. September 13th is to put on that weight gradually, and yeah, so I think this is going to be a great fight. September 13th. I don't think the weight is going to play a huge role in it like everybody seems to think. Crawford, it seems like he's put the weight on right in his legs, chest, stomach, arms, shoulders, especially his shoulder area and his neck area. I think the weight there is going to be very important, just because he needs to be strong in that area if he gets hit with one of Canelo's power shots. I think having that neck area is super important, just because, you know, when you're strong in that area and you get hit with one of those shots by a bigger guy, bigger Canelo, that neck and that chin and those shoulders are strong enough to stay right, you know, so they stay strong, especially getting hit by a guy like Canelo, who throws a variety of power shots every fight. Power shots to the body, power shots to the head, and they're devastating. You know, they put his opponents down, and I know Crawford and his team are already ready for every way this fight can go. Whether Crawford may have to brawl and mix it up with Canelo, he may have to box around with Canelo for a while to he has to cover everything in this fight. Good defense when it's needed, in and out, controlling distance, you know. So I think Crawford can do it, but he's gonna have to fight an almost perfect fight to get the job done. You know, he's gonna have to also fight a smart fight. Also use his IQ in the ring. Every strength he has, he's gonna have to use Saturday night. You know, so next Saturday night it's going down. I know Canelo is gonna be at his best. Also, you know, a lot of people are making stories about they seen Canelo. He looks out of shape. He looks fat. No, I don't think at all Canelo is not gonna come in this fight. Out of all the fights he's fought, and he's always been in shape, I don't think he's gonna come in this fight out of shape at all. You know, one of the biggest fights of his career. This is a huge fight for Canelo Alvarez also. So, you know, even though he has a big weight advantage, if Canelo is the first guy to beat Terrence Bud Crawford, you know, that's going to be a big thing. Crawford undefeated, you know, kind of like a Mayweather. You know, at this point, though, I think in Mayweather's career, Mayweather was, of course, a bigger name. Mayweather had fought in big fights by this time in his career. But Crawford, he's been doing this thing for a while. A lot of people avoided him. A lot of people knew of his talents and knew that this guy was the real deal. and avoided him. I think a lot of those PBC fighters, those guys, Heyman, they all those guys knew. Earl Spence and Bud Crawford were supposed to fight like in 2017, 2018. You know, if we want to be honest, you know, they were supposed to fight then. You know, that's how good Crawford knew, and everybody on the inside of boxing knew how good Crawford was. But, you know, a lot of people ducked him. A lot of people didn't want to put their fighter in there with him. They knew he was the truth. You know, so yeah, if Canelo beats Bud Crawford in this fight, it's gonna be a huge win for Canelo. It's gonna be a huge win. Canelo, he legendary boxer, skill set phenomenal. You know, even though Crawford is coming up 21 pounds to fight him, and they may say, well, it was because of the weight, this and that, but Canelo's still gonna get a lot of credit just because the type of fighter Crawford is, and how good, how skilled, and how legendary he is. You know, and just, you know, being an undefeated fighter, you know, who's fought the best in his era, best in his division, wiping out multiple divisions. And if he comes up and beats a Canelo Alvarez, phenomenal feat. So, you know, you can even tell Crawford's shoulders, they've been working on those shoulders, getting ready for those shots. Look at his shoulders in this picture. You know, so yeah, it's going down September 13th, Las Vegas, Nevada, Allegiant Stadium. Who do y'all got? Who y'all think is gonna win this fight? You know, I'm going with Crawford all day. This is Gino King Boxing. Y'all press that subscribe button, press that like button, and I'm out.